Welcome to Culturally Canceled with Russell Peters. This is a podcast, and today on the show with me is my youngest daughter, Angelo Tsarouchas, and my older sibling, young Kevin Nealon. The legendary Kevin Nealon of SNL fame, of comedy fame, of Weeds fame.
You know, I got to tell you, Russell, you like to be called Russell or Peter?
Well, Peters is my last name.
Yeah, I know.
It's like me calling you Neil.
Yeah, that's right. I'm hearing the word legendary a lot lately. Does that mean that I'm going to be dead soon?
Well,
And can you call somebody legendary if they haven't died? Or a legend is dead, right?
I think a legend
Is dead.
Well, no, you could be a legend still. The legend.
A legend
Kevin.
in his own right.
Legend. Well, you're a legend in a few people's rights. I read my rights, and you were one of them.
Hey, first of all, I'm a little nervous because I didn't know the name of your show is called Culturally Canceled.
Well, don't worry. If you say something you don't like, we'll cut it out.
Oh, that's
If
right.
there's
It's
a
not
subject
live, huh?
matter that you're like, could you not? I was like, we'll take it out. No problem.
Okay, sweet.
It's not a gotcha show.
Oh, I love the gotcha shows.
Well, how do you feel about the African American community then?
Somebody had a show. I think Howie Mandel had a show he was doing from his little production company. I think his son was doing it or something, where they would invite a couple to come over, and then they would have to take their phones out and show them their phone, what's on their phone.
Oh wow.
I mean, talk about a gotcha show.
Yeah, that's called a breakup show. That's what that is.
I think so.
Yeah,
I think so.
that's not the show you want to be on. If anything can be misconstrued on your phone.
Of course it can. It's all misconstrued.
I know.
I'm just listening because I was just thinking about what's on my phone, and I mean, when you really think about it, everybody's like, "What's on your phone?" And they have secret compartments and secret apps, and I think everybody's got something on their phone.
Well, look, Angelo, if you only have one phone, you're not hiding too much. But if you've got a bunch of phones, like Rudy Giuliani, 18 phones or something, you're hiding stuff. But here's what I'm doing. I recently cleared out my storage unit, got rid of it after 18 years, and $80,000. It was like $450 a month.
Really?
Yeah, I was just storing stuff in there that they would throw away after I died anyway. So it was like basically renting a dumpster. But I was looking through boxes and I think, this is like from a girlfriend I had 15 years ago. Why am I saving this, or 30 years ago? So I threw it away. And then I started thinking, I should start clearing out all the crap I have, like, incriminating stuff. Like, but it's impossible.
Like you were going to say like.
Like old messages. I love to save messages. I'm very nostalgic. I have messages from the first time I did the Tonight Show from Paul Reiser and Brad Garrett, congratulating me.
Those are good things to have.
But also I have women breaking up with me.
That's fine too. It takes you back to that time and place.
It does, but I don't want my kid finding those.
Why would you keep them?
Why wouldn't you?
Just because I'm nostalgic. That's
I'm the
why I have a
same
storage
way.
unit.
It's like, you're an asshole. I'm breaking up with you. I'm going to keep this note.
No, if I need to go in for a sad part or I need to cry. In fact, this one girl broke up with me and I had to go in for a McDonald's commercial for a Big Mac. And she had just left me for somebody else. I was devastated. I only went out with her for 6 months. And I started, I went in there and I had to cry for the Big Mac commercial. And there's like the four people that are, the casting people are behind the table, like American Idol judges. They're watching me. I start crying and you could tell them they're visibly up. I've upset them. I'm so sad,
Big Mac.
Yeah. So I got a call back, but it was like 4 weeks later and I was kind of over the girl now. So I brought like the answering tape. I brought her 8x10 to look at before I went in. And I had no feelings for her at all.
A pint of her blood.
And I didn't get the commercial, so she screwed me over again.
You didn't book it?
No,
so
I
what, you
didn't.
had the cry? Was the crying because you couldn't get a Big Mac?
Something like that. I don't remember. I
Yeah,
think
he got McScrewed on the deal.
Yeah.
I felt like that once.
McShafted.
I felt like that once at the drive-through. It was closing at 2:00, and I got there at 2:05, and they said we're closed, and I started to cry.
You're an easy cry. You don't need a picture.
Yeah, it was a food cry.
You just need to go through a drive-through on your way to an audition. But I
You got
realized
to book your auditions at 2:15 a.m.
I realized that it's impossible to get rid of all the evidence because there's iClouds. There's stuff everywhere.
Oh yeah, and you don't know who screenshotted you.
You do on a DM though.
Not really.
Yeah, I found out.
Really?
Yeah, you could like screenshot a DM somebody sends you, and it tells you on Instagram.
You'll say screenshot it?
It's a picture. They show a little camera.
Really?
Yeah.
I didn't know
You
that.
better watch yourself, man.
I mean, I'm fine now. I went through that, all my nonsense stuff, so I'm okay now.
Yeah. I bet there's a lot of breakups now because of technology where people don't realize, the Bluetooth goes to the family speakers. I didn't know that on my phone. My phone call went to the car that my girlfriend is
that's
driving.
the worst when somebody pulls up or if my lady's driving her car behind me too close, the Bluetooth will keep traveling back and forth.
Oh no!
Like and she'll be talking to her sister, and I'll be like, "No, wrong car," and then I'll hang up on her.
That's not a good example, but I know what you're saying.
You get it?
I know what you're saying.
But I also know what you mean as well.
Yeah.
You open your phone, you're on the phone, your wife takes the car, she leaves, it picks up a Bluetooth, you're talking shit about her.
Well, I'm not talking about my wife. I'm talking about previous wives.
Wouldn't that be pre-Bluetooth? You've been with your wife 18 years now, haven't you?
About that.
Yeah. She's a
We've
really nice
been
lady.
together for 20 years.
Yeah, she's a really nice lady. She
She's
follows
amazing.
me on Instagram sometimes.
Sometimes.
Yeah, sometimes I click on her page and it says follow back, and then sometimes it'll just say follow. I'm like, wait a minute. Did she unfollow me?
No, she doesn't unfollow. I taught her how to mute people, though.
No, I think maybe she muted me.
Do you know who I muted the other day?
Who?
I couldn't believe it. It was a Beatle, Ringo Starr.
Why?
He was posting too much. Too many stories. Like, he needs attention, right?
Yeah, well, he's a Beatle. He doesn't have a lot going on in his life.
I got rid of him, man. I silenced the Beatle.
Is there a protocol to how much attention you should have? I agree with you. There's some people that are going on every 7 or 8 minutes, having a sandwich, taking a crap, whatever. I mean, Jesus Christ, how many times you got to go on? I get tired of it sometimes. If it's
That's
Instagram.
when you mute them. But also, I'm tired of seeing food. I see food on menus. I don't need to see it on the phone.
Yeah, I'd be more interested if they showed me the food and then what it looked like after. You know, like
Oh,
not that I want to, but I'm like, if you're going to show me before you eat it, show me after you've eaten it too.
Yeah, or at least show me you eating the food.
Yeah. Yeah, we don't know if you're actually or if you're going to eat this. It might just be you've taken it for photographic purposes.
I think eating food is much more private and personal than, say, sitting on the toilet and going to the bathroom. Because you're just excavating on the toilet. It's food that's done. Right. But when you're putting food into your mouth, it's all like the pink lining, and it's inside of you. It's an orifice, and you're chewing it, and the tongue is whipping around.
Is that what you were doing? I was eating my sandwich before we started.
Yeah,
you were just watching my tongue whip.
I was watching. I was saying, man, he's hot. This guy's hot with the way he eats. And I think we should have business meetings not over lunch, but over toilets. Yeah. People should go into a public restroom, sit next to each other in toilets, and talk about their business deals.
I think that a lot of business deals used to happen like that, didn't they? Back in the 60s and stuff.
That's how they did it. I like watching people eat.
Do you?
It's like there's a lot of people.
How about talking with their mouth open?
It doesn't bother me.
It doesn't
mouth
bother
open.
Nah, it doesn't bother me.
You catch some of that food that comes out.
Have you ever been to a Greek wedding? That's how everybody eats, pretty much. They're just eating and talking and drinking at the same time.
Greeks and Italians and Jewish people are pretty similar. The way they celebrate, they're very loud. They're all loud, and
they're eating and talking at the same time.
Yeah, because
yeah. Angelo is disgusting, by the way. He keeps his phone on speaker when he talks, right? But he has no clue how much he spits. The other day we were in Chicago, literally 2 days ago, and he pulled up the map because we were driving to go eat breakfast, and he had his map up. I go, dude, I can't see your screen. I think you cleaned it good. But it literally was caked on like old spit. It was disgusting.
Angelo's the only one that has a windshield wiper on his LED screen.
He really does need a windshield wiper.
And I get that because when I talk, I get really passionate, and everything's flying out, right?
Yeah,
and I didn't realize.
Why do you spit so much?
I don't know. I guess when I get excited,
When you're overly lubricated in the mouth.
But the thing is, I think my earwax got into the.
Are you spitting out earwax?
No, they got it. No, but when you put the phone like this, something's blocking the speaker.
Yeah.
Because look at this stupid phone.
It's not the earwax. You have hairy ears. You gotta.
I keep trimming them.
I know, but you gotta get like a man bun done in your ears right now.
I gotta get it.
You're due for a trim.
But think about it. Look at this phone. It's a flaw from Apple. Look how big the speaker is. Look at that.
That's not the speaker. That's the listening part.
Or the listening part. Yeah, it's shit.
Yeah, but who actually holds the phone to their head anymore anyway? Kevin, are you a phone head holder?
No, I like to put the speaker thing. But I was thinking, you're talking about people spitting. I remember Eddie Vedder, Pearl Jam, played on SNL. and he was like spitting like in between every lyric, like just spitting on the ground.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Yeah. Just, I mean, big blobs of, I guess that's like an alternative music thing that they do,
That's why it's called grunge.
I guess so. Yeah.
It's to match the weather of where he came from, Seattle.
Yeah. Do you know who was from Seattle?
Bruce Lee.
Really?
Yeah.
But who else?
Eddie Vedder.
Chris Cornell.
I guess you're not very experienced.
Oh, Jimi Hendrix. That's right. Yeah.
Yeah, he played Little League up there.
Yeah, he did. He was from Seattle. That's right.
Yeah.
Didn't
Amanda
Jimi
Knox.
Hendrix sit in with Ike and Tina Turner band for a minute?
He did a
Maybe.
lot of other people's bands before he became
he was
himself.
working with them, right?
It used
He was
to be
part of the Barcades, wasn't he?
He was with the Mamas and the Papas. It was the Mamas, the Papas, and Hendrix.
That when he was with them, it was the Yo Mamas.
No mamas and papas. All the leaves are brown. Brang, brang. He's a great guitarist. But he had to go to England to kick his career up.
Somebody told me that maybe 1 out of 3 Jimi Hendrix concerts were good. The rest, he was just so like loaded and wasn't playing good. Because I used to go down to the that place next to the Comedy Cellar in New York, the Wawa,
Yep.
Cafe Wawa. He used to play down there in the Village.
In what year?
That year that was a long time ago.
In the 60s, obviously.
Yeah.
Because he died when
Back in the 1900s.
And where would you park your horse and carriage?
Exactly.
My friend saw 1968. It was The Doors in San Francisco. Opening act was The Who.
Who did they go see? No, who was the headliner?
That's pretty
The
amazing.
Doors.
Oh, the Doors. The Who
The
opened
Doors.
for the
And the
Doors.
Who, he said he paid $4 for the ticket, and they dropped some acid. Actually, Steve Pearl, comedian from
You know
Vegas.
Steve
Do you know
Pearl?
Steve Pearl?
He's from San Francisco originally,
Right.
right?
Yeah, and he used to write with Robin Williams. And Steve told me, and then, and then he was big. He was friends with Johnny Winter and those guys. He still has the ticket stub.
What was the first concert you ever went to?
The first concert I ever saw was Kiss, Ottawa Civic Center. Opening act was Cheap Trick,
Well, that was
Russell, how
1977.
about you?
1977. Yeah.
Mine was actually Kiss as well. It was 1982.
I saw. I'm not sure who my first was. It was either James Taylor or it was a trifecta: the Eagles, Edgar Winter, and Yes, and
a good
Hartford,
show.
Connecticut.
That's a good show.
I did a TV show in England 25 years ago. It was like a stand-up series they were doing called Live at Jongleurs. And Rick Wakeman was the host of the show.
From Yes?
Yeah, from Yes.
Wow.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
At the time, I mean, I knew who Yes was and I knew their music and stuff, but it didn't really dawn on me that, oh shit, this is Rick Wakeman.
Those guys are a lot like. I'm not comparing us to them, but we all work on the road. And that's what they did too. They would they probably have the same conversations. You in town for a while? No, I got a gig in Chicago or whatever, And they're always traveling. That's where they made their money.
Yeah. Have you gone back to gigging yet?
Yeah,
On the road?
yeah. Opening up for Edgar Winter next week.
You're killing it.
No, I was in Salt Lake City a couple weeks ago, and
Wise Guys?
yeah,
Oh, it's a great club.
telling you-
Downtown or the other one?
it was in
The
West
Landing?
Jordan? West
Landing.
Jordan?
Yeah, the Landing.
West Jordan. Jordan's Landing. Yeah.
Yeah, you've done those a lot, right? You've done those clubs a lot.
We just did, matter of fact, you were there with me.
I was with Russell.
I just did that in, when did we do that? March, Eddie? Or
March.
April? March. Did it in March. If you find you have less hair than you used to, you're not alone. 2 out of 3 men will experience some form of hair loss by the time they're 35. And as a guy who's experienced it and continues to, I'm here to talk to you. But if you're looking to keep the hair on your head, I'd suggest trying Keeps. Keeps offers a simple, stress-free way to keep your hair. There are only 2 FDA-approved medications that can prevent hair loss, and Keeps just happens to offer both. And Keeps is affordable and convenient. Treatments start at just $10 a month, and medications are delivered straight to your door every 3 months. I'm a big fan of the fact that Keeps offers convenient virtual doctor consultations so that you don't have to leave your house for an appointment. Hair loss isn't fun, so it just adds insult to injury if you have to carve out time in your day just to go to a doctor's appointment to talk about your dumb head. So choose Keeps, and you can keep yourself at home. Here's the thing. If you're curious about trying Keeps for your hair loss concerns, I'm here to tell you that you should give it a shot. Like I said, I love that they offer such an easy, discreet, and convenient solution to something that so many of us men struggle with. Why worry about hair loss anymore if you don't have to? Prevention is the key here, and treatments can take 4 to 6 months to see results. So if you're thinking that Keeps might make sense for your hair loss, well, I wouldn't wait. If you're ready to take action and prevent hair loss, go to keeps.com/Peters to receive your first month of treatment for free. That's KEEPS.com/Peters to get your first month free. Keeps.com/Peters.
I was doing a film in Salt Lake City, so I booked that gig for one night. I had a
We only did one night.
1 day gig on a film, and there one night.
You don't want to do the whole weekend?
No, you know what? This pandemic has really made me appreciate staying home and watching my kid grow up.
I mean, he's 14, doesn't want you to watch him anymore.
Oh no, he's amazing. I know how fast it goes by. It's like that was a wake up call. It's like, do you see how much you've been gone over the period of time?
Oh yeah.
You know, and it's like all of a sudden, your kid is walking now at 14.
It's true though. One good thing happened during the pandemic. It was that. So my daughter's growing up. My daughter plays with Russell's daughter and their buddies, like we are. And the thing that I've seen for myself, being on the road all the time, is that the good thing is that I get to stay home and hang out with my kid. You know. But after what's the threshold of when is it when you say, okay, I got to go back to work? Like we got to go back to work. Russell's been going back. I mean, start going.
We
crazy.
had to go back. I had to go back to work. We had to make money.
Well, eventually you have to make money. I mean, had we known a pandemic was going to come, we would have saved a little more money, you know, to get us through a year.
I would
and a
have
half.
bought a few less watches and cars. I think
yeah.
that would have been.
Yeah, you're a watch guy, aren't you? You still.
Yeah, not as much anymore.
Don't look at my watch like that, man.
I
I don't
saw
like
it
you
when you
watching.
came in, kid. You got the green
Hulk.
face rolly. I
It's the
see
Hulk.
what you did there, young fella.
But this is all I have left. My house was broken into.
No.
We were gone for 3 months in December. I know that's only 1 month, but tag on 2 after that. We were gone for those 3 months, and somebody broke our window in the back, and they crawled in. And I know that these the guy. I say the guy, but I don't want to be a sexist, but it could have been a woman too. So this bitch comes in, right? And I know they had no remorse at all because my wife is into positive affirmation signs, and like on our walls we got signs like "You're exactly where you're meant to be," you know, "You deserve this," you know, all that kind of stuff. And so. But he got cut coming in, so there's some blood splatterings like on the railing and stuff, and in the closets, and which is actually good because we had forensics came in and took samples.
Did they really?
Well, I say forensics, but I mean some of the actors from CSI, and they took samples. And but getting back to watches, that he didn't take that much. He took a few handbags, which I loved, and he got a watch, a Rolex Submariner that I had that I gave to my father. It was engraved on the back from my son.
Right.
And then a watch from Lorne Michaels from when I left SNL.
What kind of watch did Lorne Michaels give?
Pardon me?
I feel like Lorne Michaels give you a Longines or something.
It was a Cartier, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
But he didn't give it to me. I took it.
Well, that's fair.
Yeah.
Yeah, you were leaving.
Also, I think he took some of Gary Shandling's ashes I got after he died.
Do you have some of Gary Shandling's
I do,
ashes?
yeah. It's in a little urn that I wear on my neck sometimes. Mm-hmm. And the weird thing is he gave me those ashes before he died. There's a guy who doesn't want to wait around, you know? He gets things done.
Take these. I don't need them.
Yeah. How are my ashes?
Aren't they funny?
But how many watches do you think you have?
Now I'm down to like 7, I think.
Do you ever think about melting them down into one watch?
You know, now that you bring it up.
Have you ever melted anything down?
No, I don't understand the world of melting down.
I think it's when you're like trying to hide something. Oh, I'm thinking of lime with bodies. No, but I think people will melt, like criminals will melt gold down into one big nugget.
Well, they fence it that way, right?
Yeah.
They get all the stuff, and then they.
Wait, how do you know these words?
I
Have you
knew
seen a
some-
Rolex? Have you seen a Submariner Rolex or Cartier?
It was in the back to say "Dear John," or
Yeah.
was it? Yeah, no, not that one.
But have you ever had your house
That's their
broken
dear
into?
Ness is what it
Dear
says.
Ness.
Have you guys had your house broken into at all ever?
No.
It's really unsettling because it's
So
such
yeah,
an
because
invasion.
it makes you feel vulnerable.
Yeah.
I always have people in my house, even when I'm out of town. There's people in my
Well, apparently I do too.
house. I just hope mine don't bleed.
Yeah. Yeah. Do you worry when you get cut and are bleeding?
I mean, I think it's pretty normal to worry when you get cut and you're bleeding.
No, I mean, it's like I'll get cut. As you get older, you start bleeding for no reason at all. Your skin is thin. It starts
just-
bleeding, you know.
I get
So
it
you
when I
used to it.
shave.
Do you?
I get it.
right
I get it
here.
in my hemorrhoids. I think that's where I get it. It really shows up.
But who cares about the legs, you know?
It doesn't mean I have to share this with you guys because I was working with Russell in Naples, and this I don't know if this
Naples,
is just
Florida?
getting Naples, Florida, and we were on a friend's yacht, a famous cigar guy, Rocky Patel. And then what happened was we got off it was late in the afternoon, and when we came back,
It was evening.
It was evening. When we came back,
Real
it was
late
all
in the
dark, really dark. Because when we went out, it was still sunny out.
Yeah, we know how it starts. Yeah.
And then when he came back, so I was on the dock and I was with Russell's girlfriend, and we're standing there, and I thought the house, like from here to there, I could just walk to the house. And then what happened? I walked right into the ocean.
Well, the
fully
dock,
clothed.
the dock
You are a
itself was
comedian.
narrow. It was
Yeah.
about as wide as this.
It was very narrow.
And he wasn't paying attention. He was talking to somebody, and he was stepping aside so that somebody else could get past him, and he stepped right off.
And I've never heard Russell laugh that much in my life. And he was hammered driving the yacht.
Why you got to say that? He was hammered and driving the yacht.
Well, you were.
The
And I mean-
captain asked me if I would like to steer, and I was like, I've been drinking. He goes, that's fine. You can't really do anything.
What are you going to run into in the ocean?
Yeah.
You hit a fish?
No, I mean, what's the worst thing could happen to a boat in the ocean? What are they going to run into? An iceberg? Get out of here. It's not going to happen.
That was one of many stupid moments. But then they told me after that there's huge crocs and bull sharks in those waters in the inlet.
In the bay.
Were they talking about you?
Probably, well, I would have been like a buffet for them for sure. But if you think about it, like I didn't have time to think about it. Now there's zebra mussels all on the side of the dock, so I couldn't touch it. So what they had to do, they had to hoist me. I had to get on top of this thing that lifts up the boats.
It did. The boat that lowers the
Yeah,
boats and lifts
yeah.
them in. Yeah.
So I had to get on that
Like a little
like Free
crane.
Willy. And then they brought me up and they pulled me up on it. I was all drenched,
They
man.
scraped the barnacles off you?
That's what they were worried about, him hitting the barnacles, because they said slice them wide open if
It'll
he did.
slice you right open because they're like razor sharp. You couldn't touch the bottom or the
I thought
side.
it was a protected species or something. That's why you couldn't touch it.
Probably.
Yeah, that's scary, man. And you had no idea what was going on.
I didn't know. I just fell right in, and then I lost my glasses.
Dude, how many people are dying because of cell phones and the camera backing up and looking down and texting? And
But the blooper ones are funny if you watch those.
they are funny, man.
Like the
Isn't
people
that
that
funny?
walk back into fountains trying to take a picture or something. And
Those bloopers on YouTube,
Mm-hmm.
my son shows me them all the time. These kids on their bikes going off of jumps, flipping and landing on their head, and the other kid not putting the camera down, just laughing, and the ambulance takes them away. They're crippled for life, It's like
But we got some good footage.
They got good footage, man. That's all that matters.
It's, at the end of the day, was it funny?
Yeah, yeah. It's like my manager used to say. If I complained to him, Bernie Brillstein.
Yep.
It's like the legendary. Talk about
Was
legendary.
Bernie your manager?
Yeah, for a while.
I was going to have his son on with you, too.
Really?
Mike.
I don't know his son.
I know his son, Mike Brolstein.
But he would say, if you come back from a gig complaining, oh, it was horrible. Did you get paid? Yeah, I did. I'll fuck him then.
And that's where the Jews differ, really. They find the positive in it,
There, my son's going to a camp, Rikers Island, actually. No, he's going to a camp, and we just want to hang out in New York, and I'm doing gigs from there. I'm down in Florida and Pennsylvania and New York and Connecticut.
What kind of camp? A
It's
sports
it's
camp?
a camp where they can learn Premiere Pro, Photoshop.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's out of college, and they stay in the dorms, and
So it's a high-tech camp.
it is sort of it's a learning camp because he'll go to a regular camp before that to get it all out.
Right. Like swimming and
Swimming,
Outdoorsy stuff?
outdoor stuff.
outdoorsy, pickpocketing.
See how much it's changed? It's changed a lot now. These kids, my daughter's on her iPad all day playing, Roblox and Minecraft. And sometimes I try to distract her and I said, honey, you want to go for a ride on the bike? And I'll walk around with you? No. Do you want to do any of this thing? And all I'm doing now is I wish I bought shares in Roblox.
Yeah. Here's what I get from my kid a lot. Hey, Gable, you want to go down to the mall on Pico? How long a drive is it? It's like 20 minutes. Can I stay home? Does not like being in the car more than like 3 minutes. You know,
really?
We're going to the end of the driveway. You want to come? How long's the ride? It's just to the end of the driveway. Okay. You know.
But how long are you going to be there for?
He doesn't even seem to mind how long we're going to be there. It's just being on the road.
That's weird. I like being on long drives and stuff, but I like driving though.
You do. You like driving those big old those big
I like whatever I'm in. Just
rapper bling SUVs.
Rapper bling SUVs. Yes, it's a whole there's a subsect of SUVs.
I
you guys don't know
saw,
about.
you're into cars, right?
Yeah.
I saw the best Ford Bronco. It was a 76. There's a company that restores them in Ohio. You know,
They're like $250,000 though.
This one was $100,000.
Yeah, they're expensive as hell.
But it's
For
beautiful.
a Ford Bronco?
No, what they do is they put all modern technology in it.
Oh, cool.
This one had the old stuff in it still, but they do have the ones with the new stuff, the LED screen and all that.
Oh,
this
wait,
one,
so this one was just
was
like
restored.
a restored one.
Yeah.
Because they do the resto mod now. I think Joe Rogan has one of those.
Yeah.
And it's manual transmission, but it's like everything else is like really good in it. Like it's got the
paint job,
disc
the
brakes,
seats,
paint job,
everything
the
is fantastic.
airbags,
And
and
I
all
love
kinds of
that
stuff.
style of Jeep too. You know,
I want to get a '93 white Ford Bronco because of where I live. I really have been looking at them online.
Where is that Bronco right now? Do you think
Oh, I don't know where his is, but
it's being restored in Ohio?
yeah, for $100,000.
Getting the blood out of that?
Yeah, you can pick one up for like 19 grand though. A 93
93?
white Ford Bronco. I looked at them online.
Would you get an electric car?
Maybe one day.
I have one. It's in the shop now. We're having a gas engine put in it, but I love it, man. I love that thing.
I don't like electric cars. Well, I don't know what's going to happen to fossil fuels. I mean, everybody's like, electric car, you can't hear them coming.
I love how you're worried about fossil fuels.
I'm worried
What's
about
going to happen
fossil
with
fuels.
the oil
You know,
that's sitting in the ground?
That's oil from dead dinosaurs. You know, that's what we're using.
I was trying to be technical
Hey, what
here.
happened to the dinosaurs? Seriously,
I don't know, but they really power our cars now, and I think it's a good thing.
Isn't there a gas
coined the
station with a
phrase?
dinosaur? Huh?
Who coined the phrase fossil fuels?
Well, it's from fossils. It's from dinosaurs. It's the
Somebody
oil
from a
them.
long time ago.
It's a prehistoric.
I wish I knew dates. I don't know dates. I have to just do like picture things. Like remember during the covered wagon times? You know, I don't know when was that.
You could be like, hey,
1700s?
remember the covered wagon times of 1936? It was like May.
That was a Ford Bronco. There you go.
I meant 1836. Damn it, my fault too.
Have you
This
seen
is
the new
nice.
Ford Broncos? They're really badass.
Yeah,
now.
but they're not what I thought they were going to be.
yeah.
What car disappointed you the most as it evolved? A Stingray?
The Corvette? It did go through some bad variations.
How about the Jaguar?
The Jaguar had its moments up and down.
Volkswagen?
Volkswagen kind of was consistent.
I will tell you the Volkswagen, I'm not promoting them or anything, but I'm tall. I'm 6'4", and they got a lot of room in that car.
Really?
Yeah.
What are you driving now?
I drive an electric car.
Really?
Yeah. Plug it
Tesla?
into your house. Your electric bill is going to be a little high this month.
You plugged it in?
I have a Tesla. I have a Muskie.
A Muskie. Which
Yeah.
one did you get? Did
a
you get the
Model S.
Model X?
S.
Oh, you didn't get the SUV one with the gull wing doors and everything?
No, they didn't have that when I got my car.
Oh, okay.
My car is 25 years old. It ran on static electricity for a long time. I had to rub it on my head and then put it on the road.
You'd have to rub your head against it to get
Yeah.
it started?
And it would stick to the ceiling too sometimes.
See,
But I like this car because it's, I'm not a car guy. I just want something that's comfortable, that's got a good sound system, and that's not going to break down.
I don't find Teslas comfortable. That's why I don't like them.
What don't you find comfortable
The
about them?
seats.
What's wrong with the seats?
They're just two-way seats. It's like up or, recline or slide
if
back.
I had to pick one problem with it, it would be the seats, but not for that reason. It's because I'm tall and they're a little difficult to get out of and to get in.
Is it because it's so low?
I think it's because it's low and the seats, I have the seat pushed all the way back and I got to kind of get out and around,
Yep.
And entering the car too, I go in ass first.
Okay.
I just load my ass in and the rest of me follows. You know what I mean?
There was a BMW I went to test drive one day. It was that i8. Remember when they had the i8? It was like a hybrid one. It was like very futuristic looking.
Yeah.
It had sort of like gull wingy doors. They opened up at an angle. But the well between the door and the car was like almost a foot wide.
Wow.
And to get in, I had to point my ass in and then drop in like you're jumping out of like you're scuba diving.
Right.
And I didn't take the car for a drive. I was like, fuck this. I don't want to. I can't get in and out of this car freely.
You don't wear a
like
snorkel the whole time you're driving.
Yeah. So I didn't ever.
Have you ever seen the guys my size trying to get in and out of Lamborghinis on YouTube? There's channels of it. And they roll. Have you seen that?
Yeah, there was
why are you buying a Lamborghini?
There was one with a really large black dude, and he at a gas station, and he literally had to roll out of the car. He ended up on the ground. He rolled out of the car.
Like, why would I buy not that I could buy one, but why would I buy a Lamborghini?
Do you ever wish you were a cop when you see people driving crazy?
I do actually.
I drive down Sunset a lot.
Yeah, look at this one, Kev. That's Angelo when he shaved his head.
No, look, this guy can't. He can't. There's no way, man.
They use bait to get him out.
Look at him. Well, that guy's 2 times my size, man.
You got to get the guy that falls out of the Lamborghini. He
guy
literally had to
falls out
roll
of the
out. He rolled
Lamborghini.
out of the car to get into.
Like the guy literally he rolls out like he's doing some kind of military maneuvers or something.
But I'll be driving down Sunset late at night, and I'll be coming back from a club or something. Not even that late at night. And there's these people.
Made it sound
these
so
guys
mysterious.
own these Ferraris,
Right?
and I think of them as like trust fund kids.
Which you're probably right.
And I'm not going to say where they're from or anything like that. I'm not going to judge, but I think they're trust fund kids.
Right.
And they are just flooring it. And they're weaving in and out of cars like they're in the Le Mans, you know?
They're crazy.
And I just wish I was a cop then. I can't even get their license plate because they go by too fast.
There's too many.
My back is to the screen, and you guys are watching the screen. This reminds me of when I pitched an idea once to an executive at Sony.
Just pitch it back
I'm
to us
pitching the
again.
idea, and he's watching a basketball game on the TV.
Yeah, good show.
And every time I looked up
True story?
every time I looked up from my paper or I was pitching, I'd see him go from the screen back to me. Yeah.
You know what happened to me once at an audition? I was in there at the audition, and I'm doing my lines, and I heard the casting agent look at his assistant, get me a tuna on whole wheat and hold the onions. I could hear the guy saying
He
that.
was
and I'm
just
like,
teasing you.
And I'm just sitting there like, I
could
guess
use
we're
that.
done.
I could use that tuna sandwich.
Oh, here he is. Here, a Kev. Watch.
This is the guy.
He doesn't own that car.
Why would you buy this car?
He didn't buy that. Okay, this guy.
Why would you buy this fucking car?
He needs a pickup with a seat in the back.
He needs a pick-me-up.
But you imagine you pull up with a girl, you're like at Sunset Plaza, you're like at this beautiful Ferrari.
Paparazzi's out there waiting for you.
And you're rolling out like a walrus. Just on the car. Blah.
You know these basketball players that are like 7'1" or whatever? They've got to have a custom built seat where it slides all the way back. You know, where they have a track that's extended.
Shaq is always selling his old cars, and I'm like, I don't know how. Like a lot of them have no back seats because he'll like take the back seats out so he could fit in.
Yeah, or he drives from the back seat.
Well, he probably does. He probably takes the front seat out. Summer's basically here, and if your basics game is a little too basic, it might be time to update your wardrobe with Mack Weldon. Mack Weldon is the brand that's reinventing men's basics, and their collection has everything you need for whatever your day might throw at you. With a collection that includes t-shirts, underwear, polos, button-ups, shorts, pants, swimmer, and more, Mack Weldon has you covered, head to toe, or maybe top to bottom, but whatever, you'll be covered. If you're looking for a new pool and beachwear, I can't recommend Mack Weldon Swimline enough. Their trunk and board shorts have 4-way stretch fabric, which means you can chase your kids around the beach without ripping a seam. And trust me, I've ripped a few seams in my time. And you won't have to worry about your suit cutting into you in an unflattering way when you're seated so that you can stay comfortable and look good all at the same time. To be honest, my big problem is that one problem right there. And when you're not in the pool, Mack Weldon's new Maverick Tech Chino Short and Radius Short are perfect for active summer days. Stay cool and comfortable this summer and look great doing it with all new collections of men's essentials from Mack Weldon. For 20% off your first order, visit mackweldon.com/Peters and enter promo code Peters. That's mackweldon.com/Peters, promo code Peters for 20% off. Mack Weldon is reinventing men's basics.
I mean, it's got to be, but the discomfort they go through is made up for on the basketball court and the fame they get.
And the money.
And maybe the money.
I think they get enough money to,
Dude, he's on every commercial,
He is.
even the General Insurance.
Yeah.
You know that little cartoon?
The generals.
General. There's a Shaq O'Neal, and Shaq O'Neal for Gold Bond talcum powder. Shaq O'Neal for,
I've never heard somebody call him Shaq O'Neal.
Shaq O'Neal.
Sounds like a
It's
chocolate guy.
Shaquille. It's Shaquille, right?
Yeah.
It says Shaq. Shaq.
I used to live in Manhattan
I don't
Beach.
know why he doesn't get the gigs when he auditions. I don't know.
I used to live in Manhattan Beach. A lot of basketball players lived down there. And I'd see them around. I became friends with Kurt Rambis. He used to play for Lakers.
Right.
That's right.
It's a long time ago. And we had the same shoe size.
Really?
So one day he goes, "Hey, man, if you ever want any sneakers, I've got tons in my garage. They've been sitting out there for years. He gets these promo sneakers.
Right.
Never been worn. They're in the box still." So I said, "Sure, why don't you give me like 5 or 6 pair?" So I'm not going to wear more than that. So he gives them to me. They last about a week, and the sole falls off because they've been sitting out there and they dried up.
The glue.
All the glue is dried up.
I've heard that happen to many, many people.
Yeah?
A friend of mine, he got a pair of these really nice Jordans from another rapper guy. He used to collect them. He was like, "Hey, we're the same size. Why don't you try these? Take these. These are brand new, never wore. They're about 5-6 years old." And he said he put them on, went to the mall, and literally walked right out of the shoe. He walked in the mall, and it took one step, and the sole was left behind him, and he was like,
What? They were sitting around too long? Was that
"Yeah,
it?
yeah, they got to be worn, or because the glue dries up."
I don't want to date myself, but
Well, you can't. You're married.
people don't get married anymore. No, but remember when basketball players used to play in Converse sneakers?
Oh yeah,
Chuck Taylor.
The Chuck Taylor.
And that was like the nice sneaker back then.
And that now it's hard to walk around in those. I don't know how you play a game in those.
Oh, they're really flat. Like you feel flat-footed, and they run big too, about the half size big.
They in fact do run a half size big.
Yeah,
I tried on a pair yesterday. I'm an 11, and they had to get a 10.5.
because Chuck Taylor is actually an inch higher than he says he is. Take a break. We'll be right back. You're not a sport. You're not. Did you play any sports growing up?
I boxed amateur for 9 years, and I do jiu-jitsu, but that's about it.
I boxed amateur in the professional leagues.
What was your sport? I was assuming basketball because of your height.
You would assume that, but I was 5'8" when I graduated high school.
No.
Yeah, I grew like to 6'4" after high school.
Exponentially, apparently.
And when I showed up to my high school reunion, it was fun. It was fun. I played rugby, soccer, and football.
And now you just golf?
I'm getting back into golfing because I had my shoulder replaced last summer.
Really?
Yeah. You
What's
can't
wrong
tell
with your
by
old
looking at
shoulder?
me. Pardon me?
You have a rotator cuff?
Well, I was a quarterback in college.
Were you?
Yeah, I was. I played at Fairfield University in Connecticut. But I went to a different college. I graduated that college. My buddy Bill says, "Hey, man, we could play football at Fairfield University on the club football team if we take a night course." So we took night courses in criminology. And it qualified us to play football. The starting quarterback got hurt. I never played on a team before. We played pickup football. We had all the equipment, though. We had helmets and pads, and we played the gangs from across town on the football field, no refs. So they were really, so this game was like playing with a school where they had refs. That was kind of easy. And I had a really good arm, and I was a kicker, too. So the starting quarterback got hurt, and I played the whole season, got MVP. I loved kicking, too, and so I moved out to L.A. to become a comic, and I thought, I'm going to try out for the L.A. Express USFL football team as their kicker. So I bought like 6 USFL footballs, which are a little bit lighter than the NFL, and I practiced kicking every day down at Fairfax High. Mm-hmm. And I thought this would be a good kind of gimmick as a stand-up, a good hook. Here he is. He's not only a comedian, but he's also the kicker for the LA Express. Let's bring him up here. But my career took off before the free agent walk-on thing, so I didn't do it.
What year is it?
Also,
80?
USFL fell apart.
It's like 80, 81?
Around then, yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
What didn't Trump have the New Jersey Generals? Wasn't that his team in the USFL?
If he said it was,
Herschel-
I don't know if it was or not.
I think Herschel Walker played for them. I think.
Yeah.
He had a hard-on for the NFL, and Marcus Dupree, when he left college, went to the New Orleans franchise.
This is all very entertaining information. I like this.
I know it just triggered something off in my head.
You're just checking to see if you have Alzheimer's, right? You just want to make sure you don't have Alzheimer's.
No, you said USFL, and I remember.
Oh, yeah, I know.
You know, it's
Give us some more interesting tidbits
useless
about the
facts. I know useless facts.
Yeah, USFL,
That's what USFL
useless
stands for, yeah.
facts.
Useless facts.
So that's the only thing I do now is golf, which I'll be doing again soon. I play every year up in Lake Tahoe at the American Century Golf Championship, and it's on NBC. So you're on camera hitting the ball. And they pair me up with Charles Barkley
Really?
every year because we both suck. But he sucks not because he's bad at golf. He has a psychological hitch in his swing where he can't swing through. He stops about a foot from the ball and then it continues through. Seriously,
Are you serious?
everybody's tried to fix it. Tiger, Hank Haney, all these people, they can't fix it. He's tried hits with one hand, closes his eyes. So I beat him usually by about 10 strokes every year. But he's fun to play with. He smokes a cigar like you guys. And
I think this is the only way to smoke it with your mouth. I mean,
well, no, but yeah, that's true.
What about Phil Mickelson? Oldest guy to win. No,
more facts, guys.
yesterday. It was yesterday. No, I'm just saying yesterday. 'Cause
Yeah,
they said
I heard he was winning he won.
he won. The guy's like 50. Was it 53?
That's the oldest guy?
Well,
No, that's
in
his number.
golf.
Do they have numbers in
In
golf?
golf.
Is that the number of his jersey?
I don't know what his jersey was. I'm just saying I thought it was pretty
Jersey.
cool.
My sister-in-law went to a pro tournament once, a golf tournament, and Phil Mickelson was there, and
Oh, you did a commercial with him, didn't you?
no, with Arnold Palmer,
Oh. He's from Latrobe, Michigan. I mean, Latrobe, Pennsylvania.
Yeah,
More facts.
she told her husband.
Oh, we're watching Charles Barkley's golf swing.
Yeah, there it is. See,
Oh, that's what you're talking about.
Wow, that's weird.
see that?
That's fucking weird. Oh, I thought you were joking.
No,
No, it's true.
and I'm a little better than that.
You can't follow through it. Or his legs are shaking.
I've seen him walk away from it because he couldn't do it. I think he's afraid he's going to hit somebody. I think that's why he has it. It's a psychological. But why would he worry about that?
I don't know.
My father was following us once, and he's watching Barkley swing. And I leave the green, right? I leave the tee box. I hit already. I'm walking. Charles catches up to me. He goes, he's smiling. He's kind of chuckling. I said, what's so funny? He goes, some old dude back there said, just hit the ball. Just hit the ball, Charles. And that was my father. Yeah, Latrobe, Pennsylvania is where Arnold Palmer's from. And I did a commercial with him there. That's where he learned how to golf.
That's where my manager, Paulie's from.
Is that right?
Yeah, that guy right there.
Yeah. I mean, this guy's done everything, Arnold Palmer.
Is he still alive? He passed.
No.
Well, like a few years ago, though.
We became really good friends. We were buddies, I was kind of disappointed.
Was it the Valtrex commercial?
It was for herpes.
Yeah, well, it was, wasn't it? No, what was that, man?
It was for Xarelto.
The Xarelto,
blood thinner
that's
commercial.
I love his drink,
Yeah.
the Arnold Palmer.
Well, when they asked me to do a pharmaceutical commercial, I said, can we make it at least a little funny? They say, yeah, a little bit, but not too much. So he'll order the Arnold Palmer, and I'll say, I'll have the Kevin Nealon.
Wait, who else was in there? There was a third person.
Chris Bosch,
Chris Bosch. Yeah, I know Chris.
Brian Vickers, the race car driver.
Yeah, that's right.
That was it. But Chris Bosch was playing, and he brought his acoustic guitar with him. He was learning how to play the guitar because I guess he couldn't play basketball because he had this condition.
What
He
is
had to
that
take blood
condition?
thinner. I think it was. I don't know what he had, but you take that if you have like AFib, or
Do you have AFib?
I did. I had an ablation. Or or if you have a blood clot or ATV or something, some
All-terrain
kind of
vehicle?
Yeah, if you have an ATV at home, you got to take it.
And you got rid of this AFib?
I don't know if you can ever get rid of it, but I don't have episodes where my heart takes off anymore.
What does it do? Just race?
Oh my God. It's like horses running. It's like 200 beats per minute, 250.
Oh shit.
And then it slows down and then becomes irregular.
Do you panic?
At first you do.
Yeah.
I mean, I was always feeling my pulse on my neck to see if it was in a regular rhythm. And then finally, my doctor said, look, this is happening a lot. Why don't you just go get an ablation? So I went to this Italian doctor. It was great. He was like the pioneer of ablations.
What is ablation?
Ablation?
Sounds like a black and Asian person. My
I'm going to take a break, Russell. We're going to come back and we'll talk about that statement when we come back.
My stepdaughter's ablation.
An ablation is when they, all right, in a nutshell, an AFib is an electrical problem with your heart. It can't kill you, but if you let it go for a couple of days, you get a blood clot, and that'll kill you.
Yeah.
But so what they do is they don't know what causes it, but it's an electric. I get all this stuff that people don't know what causes it. Like my feet get numb from neuropathy. It's not diabetes or Parkinson's or anything. It's just an irritated nerves. They don't know what causes it.
The top part of my right thigh is numb at all times.
Really?
And I don't know what it is. Like I know I'm touching, but I can't feel it.
It's not. You've heard of.
I'm serious.
No, I know you're. No, I'm just thinking.
From here to here.
I'm not laughing at that. I'm thinking as you get older, we start talking about neuropathy and all.
I wouldn't worry about that. That's probably just diabetes or something. But this just gets numb, and and it's weird. It's not totally.
Does
numb.
it affect your mobility?
A little bit. My balance a little bit.
It's not MS related.
No. I wish I had a name for it. I wish I was a minority so I could have something to talk about in my act. I wish I had MS so I could blame something on it, but I don't.
Please give it up our AFib comic of the year, Kevin Nealon, ladies and Kevin.
So anyway, the ablation is they go in through your groin. There's that big artery or vein there, and then they go up through. They go up through that to your heart, and then they come in through your neck. And then
Is there not a better way of getting at this thing?
Well, you take the 405, but that's usually backed up. So they go in through that way, and then they solder it. They little dots around the area that has the electric current that's going haywire.
Do they cauterize it or solder it?
They cauterize it, sort of like they make a little corral around it, scar tissue. And then the guy finishes, and I'm relieved because it's like 10, 14 years of that. Now it's done. I don't have to worry about it anymore. But he goes, yeah, you look good. I think you'll be fine. I did see a scar in your heart, but it doesn't mean anything. A scar? What do you mean? A scar? What's that from? He goes, I don't know. Nobody knows anything. What causes neuropathy? I don't know. I went to bed.
I think the scar on your heart was caused from that ex-girlfriend from the McDonald's commercial.
I think you're right.
I think,
it could be. I've had breakups where I've had noises coming out of my mouth I've never heard before, like a wounded animal. I'm on the floor, it's like, Spielberg's, hey, you want to do the next Star Wars? But no, it's really kind of crazy as you get older. You think you're gonna, like, I always thought, man, I'm gonna work out the rest of my life. Man, I'm gonna be at the gym. I'm gonna be lean all the time and toned.
You've stayed very lean over the years. You've never had a fat moment.
Last year's been a little rough, but what happens you don't know is your body starts breaking down. I go to bed. My mother died about a year ago. And a week after she died, I go to bed and I wake up in an ambulance. This is last April.
Right.
I don't know anything. They tap me on the shoulder. They say, Mr. Nealon, we're taking you to St. John's Hospital. You're in an ambulance. You had a grand mal seizure.
A what?
A grand mal seizure.
Okay.
I thought, how did I get to France? Why am I in France? But it's all like disbelief. And I think that's how you die eventually, is you don't even know what happens. You're just gone, But had I not woken up, that would have been it. But I woke up, and I can't, that would have been the way I went.
Had I not woken up,
I would have not known anything. I just would have been gone. But, so I get to the hospital, and it's funny, I try to avoid talking about any of this stuff because I hate comics talking about getting older on stage. Like, I won't do that. I won't talk about, oh man, I'm getting old.
You're gonna hate my new act.
But you're still young, so you can get away with it. Anyway, they do all kinds of tests on you, MRIs, X-rays, and then the doctor, I come out of the MRI thing. I'm in and out because I'm tired, and I come out of the, it's a tough conversation when Russell's distracted by the bird.
Birds are driving me nuts.
I hear the birds singing.
Yeah.
I'm just like in my head, I'm like,
what happened next?
in my head, I'm like,
feel
shut
like
the
I'm
fuck
pitching a
up,
movie
birds.
to
I'm trying to
him.
listen to Kevin's story.
Anyway, the doctor looks at the MRI. You got tests from my MRI there? He looks at it. He goes, I don't know if this was the cause of your seizure, but you have a tumor, a brain tumor. We found a brain tumor.
A brain tumor?
Yeah, but it's a meningioma. It's a brain tumor that's not in the brain. It's between the brain and your skull, right here. You can't see it. And so stop looking up there.
Take off your hat, maybe.
He said it's been there for like probably a couple of decades. It's calcified. It's probably not growing. I wouldn't worry about it. I like it when people tell you just had a seizure. I wouldn't worry about that tumor though.
It's nothing. Don't worry about it.
But anyway, I've had it for like a year now, and I just take anti-seizure stuff now. I don't have room in my pill box for any more pills, Russell. Yeah. I have to stand on it now like a suitcase to close it.
You don't even take multivitamins anymore.
I have to get rid of the vitamins that I have in there because there is some vitamin D and some B complex and C.
Those are the ones that are actually very necessary ones. You should need those.
Now they are. But I don't even know what. I've been so busy lately. I don't even know what today is. According to my pill box, today is M. That's all I know.
M Day.
M Day. And we're back, ladies and gentlemen. If you're just joining us, I'm talking to Angelo and Russell Peters, the Peter brothers.
On medication with Kevin Nealon.
What meds are you on right now?
Oh, I'm on a bunch of stuff.
Besides Valtrex.
Valtrex is number one, but I only bought that because of your endorsement to it.
That you thought
I don't actually have AFib. I just was like, that's my friend, and I want to support.
It's Xarelto, but still, yeah.
Oh, sorry, Xarelto. Sorry, shit, I'm on the wrong drugs. Which one's Valtrex for? I hope that's not the
That's for
HIV
shingles.
medicine, is it?
Shingles.
Oh, it could be for shingles.
Herpes, cold sores, herpes.
Cold sores and all that kind of stuff.
This last year, it's kind of been like the 80s with STDs. People, are you vaccinated? Yeah. Do you have like any kind of sweating or before you have sex? You are any kind of cough? Anything?
And this is your wife talking to you.
And that's my mother.
She haunts you.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, they're together now. That's nice.
Yeah.
Wherever they are, they're together.
Or they're nowhere.
That's true. They could be nowhere. They could be nowhere. But they're nowhere together.
Your parents alive still?
Just my mom. She turns 80 this year.
Okay, my mother lived to be 90, almost 92.
Yeah, I remember when you posted it, and I sent you a message, I believe.
You did. Yeah, but no flowers. But that's okay.
No, I mean, I figured.
But she's in the bonus round, though. Over 90 is great. If you could get to that age.
After 85 is bonus round.
Yeah, it's bonus. You're in there.
What is the age when somebody dies where you don't get upset and say, what happened? What happened?
After 85,
85
I would think.
and up.
Oh, 85 and up?
Yeah.
I would think 80.
Okay, we can go
Because
with
if
80.
somebody in the paper says, so-and-so died, it was 81, 80, you go, okay.
80 is a good number.
It's not that you don't care about them. It's just like, well, it happens,
By the way, it took me a while to find it.
Oh, there it is. Okay, there it is.
It's Angelo getting lifted out of the water.
Sit on it. Sit on it.
So this is like fucking National Geographic. So the Angelo.
That was me filming.
And that's Russell filming, if you hear him laughing in the background, and that's the captain who's really cool.
Fuck.
How long did it take to get out of it? How'd you get that lift?
It took around 10 minutes.
At least.
At least 10 minutes.
It wasn't sandy bottom, though, right? It wasn't rocks.
No, it was all.
I feel like a fucking retard.
Let's see. My lady FaceTimed his wife as soon as it happened.
That was great.
So his wife's watching this in real time on the phone.
Yeah.
My wife's watching it in real time in LA, and I'm in.
Did you land on your back?
I'm okay, honey. I'm just more
You
embarrassed.
walked straight in like you didn't see the
I
edge.
didn't see it. I came on. I can swim.
He literally walked the plank. is
How
what he
long
did.
after that did you continue to laugh? Like,
All night.
I know
All
you
night.
stop, and then you think about it again, you start laughing.
Absolutely.
I love those moments.
I still laugh about it.
I'm good.
I showed it to him. It's funny. I showed it to my friend, and he looks at me and he goes, "You're like the
Step right in the water,
Greek
honey. I
Chris
didn't bang
Farley."
anything up.
Fucking
That's right,
walking
you
inside.
are.
I know you knew.
So
it,
he's
man.
not banging
It's
anything
funny.
on the road.
I mean, I literally walked right off the dock, didn't even see it, and felt right into the water. Like it's just.
It's taking
still
you
there,
longer
but
to get
my
out of the water
glasses
than that
fell
woman
in.
that swam from Cuba to Key West.
Sunglasses or
I'm talking from the beginning.
Glasses.
She left
I thought Russell was going to pass out from laughing. I never heard him laugh that hard. Never.
As soon as you knew you were
The
okay.
thing I got to
I did,
watch
and once I found out it was okay, that's when I started laughing.
Honey, I didn't see it.
And then, but I started getting really
I
lightheaded.
didn't,
I started
I didn't
getting.
see
Should
the.
I
I didn't see it was dark.
Then Russell
That's what I was
fell
afraid of
down.
because I can't swim, so I would have been dead.
No, you can't swim. How do you do that? Why don't you go
Hallelujah,
learn? I'm
praise
learning
the Lord.
Spanish. You can learn to swim.
I've been baptized.
a real friend would laugh at it.
What country do I call this to learn how to swim?
Any country.
What part of Mexico do
I
I?
used to teach swimming to
this is for him.
handicapped kids.
His own
Mentally
record.
handicapped kids. They can
I
swim.
can't believe I did that.
Yeah,
I was
yeah.
talking
Are you
to
afraid of the
Elizabeth
water?
and I fell right in the
well,
water.
Were you on the
I'll get
boat?
in my pool
I
and
went
I'll
to
doggy
step,
paddle.
yeah.
Oh, so
I
you
can
can
get to
swim.
the deep
Good.
end in doggy paddle
No hurt,
back,
right?
but
No hurt. No.
What kind of dog?
I'm glad you
Shih
had
Tzu.
it. Otherwise,
Shih Tzu.
you would just
Shih
did
Tzu
like
paddle?
this.
I swim like
On that
shits.
sharp, huh?
They will cut you like rape.
Well, it's easy, man. It's all about just.
no, you know what it
relaxing.
is? I panic when my face goes underwater or my head
The
goes
Turk
underwater.
saved
How
your
about when you're
life.
shaving?
Thank you.
I
Does that scare you?
I don't submerge when I'm shaving.
Shower? How about a shower?
Cut you like
You run
Shower's
through the shower?
fine.
Sprinklers?
Cut you
How about
like
sprinklers?
worse than
Work your
a
way up to the
knife, and you
pool.
will
Run
not
through a
heal.
sprinkler and then jump in the pool.
I ran through sprinklers my whole childhood.
Hey, better him than me. I
Were they
can't
coming from
fucking
the
see
They're
him. I would
pulling,
have
they're
died.
pulling me up with the bullet.
No, swimming is.
I almost
just-
drowned
No,
twice. That's
I
why.
can swim.
I did
just-
too. I
When
almost
I
drowned
was
once.
Scared you.
4 and
It
when I
took me
was
by
13.
surprise.
I thought you were screwing
And then
around.
that was it. I was like,
No,
nope,
Look on my
I'm
boat.
good.
My father was a hero
Wanna wait till the sun
many
comes up?
times, but one time
Yeah, no shit.
these kids fell through the ice
I'll
in a
stay
pond,
outside for a while.
skating, and he rescued them.
Stuff in the dryer. We get you a nice robe.
Where'd you grow up?
No, but I'm crying.
Florida.
Really?
Bronco.
It was
And I
Connecticut.
fucking believed him too. They
I've
were
been
idiots.
driving that.
Connecticut.
All right.
Yeah, we used to skate on the lake by our house every winter and play hockey and stuff. It was great.
I'm playing Bridgeport in a couple of weeks.
That's where I'm from.
Are you?
Yeah, Stress Factory, right? That's where I'm going to be in July. Bridgeport is like
Wait,
Here, let me
it
get your
doesn't
hand.
belong in Connecticut. It's the Detroit of
His phone's in
Connecticut.
his pocket.
Which part of Detroit? The Detroit part of Detroit?
The Detroit part.
Oh yeah. That's
it-
what everybody said. Don't
Can't
go
believe
out
I
at
did
night.
this,
It's
man.
very,
20,000
it's
green.
very diverse. It's ethnic. It's a lot of like. I'm telling you, there was mafia there when I grew up. Gangs, drive-bys.
Well, it's Connecticut. They're all in the witness protection program there.
Yeah. I
New
mean,
Haven, Bridgeport.
a couple of the mayors were convicted and sent to prison for racketeering there. The city almost went bankrupt a few times.
Recently?
Not recently that I know of, but I will tell you that there was rumor that Wayne Newton met Johnny Carson there at the a diner on Main Street to talk about buying a casino in Vegas.
Together.
No, they had a disagreement. There was
really?
a lawsuit or something, and there was That's just a rumor, though, I think, but it may have happened. But the big thing about Bridgeport, I don't know if you're superstitious.
I'm not, but carry on.
Most of my friends, I lived in a blue-collar neighborhood. Most of my friends' fathers were either firemen or policemen. And I came home from school once, and my buddy Bill goes, "Okay, we got to go down to Lindley Street. There's a haunted house. There's a girl possessed in a house on Lindley Street." I said, "No way." He goes, "No, my father told me. My father's down there now. He's a fireman, So we go down there, and it's at night now. It's dark. It's winter. It's all lit up. All the press are down there. There's throngs of people.
I hope there's not thongs of people.
No thongs. But there was a house in Brazil where there was thongs and throngs of people. Throngs of thongs. Good name for your next special, by the way.
Throngs of thongs with Russell Peters.
Straight from Brazil. Waxed. Fully waxed. So I go down there, and it's like hundreds of people, and it's barricaded off. There's lights, there's cameras, there's news, there's cops, and apparently a girl was adopted from an orphanage that was on an Indian reservation in Canada. That's where she lived now in this house. It's a little bungalow house on a side street, and apparently the cement swans vibrated and shook to face each other out on the porch. The refrigerator elevated up. The crucifix fell off the wall. My friend's father, who was the captain of the fire department, told us privately, he said, "I was walking downstairs to check the foundation, and I kid you not, coming up the stairs was a cat. It looked up to me and said, 'How's your brother George?'" And he's got a brother George. As if a talking cat wasn't enough. Mm-hmm. He was psychic cat.
Psychic talking.
And he wasn't joking.
He wasn't
This is
joking.
a real fact.
That's what I remember. Maybe he was at the time, but I remember that I
believe in
I
that
thought he was
stuff.
serious.
I believe in that stuff. There's definitely an energy that a lot. I don't know if you could call it haunted or not, but I feel it. I can sense it, and you can always feel if there's somebody else in the room. And I can feel it, and I know. But the thing is, you don't want to tell people this because if you tell them that, then they think there's something's wrong with you.
I think you should stick to facts.
Go with the facts, but no, but you can. I can sense it.
Are you one of these people that believes in signs too? Like
Yes.
if you like ladybugs, I have a friend that loves ladybugs. If she sees a ladybug, she goes, "Oh, that's meant. I'm meant to do this then because I saw that ladybug. I'm supposed to buy this house or whatever."
100%.
Really?
If
something
I'm
happens.
driving and I see a red hexagon, I stop.
All right, let's say you're on the fence, Angelo, about doing something.
Right.
It's got to be a strong fence.
Let's say you're on a cement wall. You're on a cement wall. About doing something. I'm gonna ask you tonight, before tonight.
Yes.
If you see, what's the thing you look for? Is it a paperclip or is it?
No. It could be.
Is it a hamburger? What is
No, but it could be. Listen,
Drive-through.
it could be anything. Sometimes it's seeing a person, a place, or a thing. Something. It could be a bird or an animal.
So you don't
It
have
could
a
be anything.
specific thing
No,
that's like
you gotta feel if something's gonna happen like that, or sometimes you ask yourself if you get lost and you end up somewhere, why? And sometimes it's true.
Because you didn't
yeah.
follow your GPS.
Because my
No,
ways
but-
wasn't working.
but
Because
also-
your fucking screen on your phone was so dirty from all the spit that you
couldn't see
couldn't see
nothing.
the.
Here's what I wonder: if you're stopped at a stoplight, or if you don't make it through that stoplight, how would your life have changed if you got through that green light, and didn't stop at that light?
That's a little different because it's
Oh,
sort
no,
of
I'm wrong.
no, but I mean that it's a stoplight is one thing, but have you ever been in a situation where you end up somewhere and then you ask yourself, what am I doing here? And then there's a sign of something that happens that tells you that. And I know this sounds spiritual, but
So you pull up somewhere and you're like, "What am I doing here?" And then the big hospital sign, you're like, "Oh,
oh fuck yeah.
right." I was
I got
having
AFib or
yeah, I was
something
having a.
By the way, there
aneurysm.
was a time,
a
Angelo,
grand mal aneurysm.
when I had that AFib thing going on, I would know exactly where every hospital was and which one I was closest to. And the most insecure I felt was when I was right between the middle of two hospitals, equidistance, because I knew it'd be at least 40 minutes to get to one of those two hospitals.
They were like, "Traffic. Which one has less traffic right now?"
Yeah, exactly. But some people have certain things that they always look for. Like if somebody passed away and they see butterflies the next day, like that happened with my grandmother. We thought, oh, it's a sign from her, Or if you're like my friend's mother loves paper clips, love gold paper clips, use those a lot. If she saw a paper clip on the ground, she goes, my mother's signaling me.
Because there was something about I once, when I lived in Toronto, I saw a man walking at 4:00 in the morning. I was on the porch having a cigar. It was early morning. He looked exactly like my father, identical to my father. And he was walking, and I freaked out. I stood there staring at him. And another time at the Cleveland Improv, in the front row, a man and a woman, I came out on stage, and the guy sitting at 12:00 exactly looked like my father. It was so weird.
Maybe it was your father.
Maybe it was him. I don't know. It's so weird. And I kept trying to do my act, and I kept staring at the guy. Have you ever done that where you're on stage and you see somebody that
They look
reminds you
familiar.
of somebody familiar?
Yeah.
I don't know.
No, I think this is you.
No, but I'm saying is, I mean,
Usually, if I see somebody familiar in the audience, I probably know them.
no, but what if you're not sure with the lights on and everything else too?
Then you got to hit him with that line. Where do I know you from? Yeah. Stop hitting on me.
But the guy look at the guy and say, "Hey, you're my dad." But that's happened to me a couple of times actually.
Do you know that disease that Brad Pitt has? I think he has it. And then I know another guy that has it where they don't recognize faces. Like you
that
could,
real?
You could know him, yeah. You could just have a meeting with him for an hour and then come back in because you forgot your coat. He wouldn't know who you were. He'd probably know you because of your clothes, whatever you're wearing. But yeah,
You can't remember people's faces?
yeah. There's a
Maybe
name
that's
for
why he
it.
breaks up with these women.
Maybe.
What's it called? Also,
Why can't they just give it like a regular name, like Forgot Face Guy?
Yeah.
well, in Greek, prosopa is face.
What's Muria?
Is it really?
Muria, yeah.
Is it Muria face
Prosopasu,
too?
prosopa. Most of these words, gentlemen, come from Greeks. A lot of these words, phobias, diseases, illnesses.
I'm trying to think of the swear word my friend told me.
Malaka.
Malaka, yeah, Malaka.
That's our favorite word.
Malaka.
On the road all the times.
You call people Malaka?
Prosopagnosia.
Yeah, but,
That'd be horrible. You got to pretend you know everybody. Hey, how you doing?
I
He's
didn't
a
know you
really
had
good
that.
actor.
Long time no recognize.
Does you remember smells or something? Or
Yeah, I mean, if the guy's smelly, then it's your
I
benefit.
mean, you'd want to go in fragrant when you would meet
Well, it
him.
says it right there. Prosopa, which is face.
But I thought Muria was face.
Loss of memory. So prosopagnosia.
Wait, what's Muria?
Okay, Muri. Well, you got prosopa, which is your, and then Muri. So Muri is face, but prosopa is like your whole
Head?
head.
But that's kefali.
Go kefali. So the prosopa. Well, you're the one that brought it up, Kevin.
brought it up for a second.
For a second, he's like, I didn't think we were going to have a debate over this.
Man, I just had a Spanish class. I don't even listen to Greek now.
Do you think, Kevin, do you think that's true? Or do you think everybody wants
It's
to
a great
meet him?
excuse.
Right? No, think about it. I mean,
I did
everybody.
introduce my wife to him a couple years ago, some award show, and it looked like he knew her. I was pretending to know her. I gave her a big hug and a kiss.
And he called her Kevin.
Yeah. I got to stop trying to think I know people's names when I see them because I get it wrong all the
Really?
time. Like I'm trying to show them like how what a great memory I have. Hey, Dwayne, how you doing? And then later, no, it's Wayne. Wayne, you were
close. I mean, Dwayne's not that far.
I know, but I don't want to. I mean, it's not even usually that close, and it's a girl.
This is
I think we covered everything, didn't we?
we got this.
I think you edit this down to 5 minutes, and you're good.
Yeah, we got to. Just the facts, people. It's Angelo talking for.
Well, I was just bringing up facts. I'm into that. I'm into geography. I'm into populations. I'm into things that people maybe don't think about.
I was just telling my son this. I said, I don't think you need to go to school. You could stay home and watch Jeopardy, TED Talks, Shark Tank, and get a great education.
You really can.
You know what I mean? Masterclass.
Yeah.
There's so many things going on at home that you don't need to go into school. There's
It's like
4 courses
collected
right there.
information
Yeah,
or useless
It's
information.
probably more useful information you're going to learn that way, too.
I'm sure.
You're also going to know what 100 people surveyed and the top 10 answers would be.
Yeah. Where are those two?
Oh, you know what? You were on Family Feud. I saw you. You won.
I did a lot of these game shows the last year, except for Jeopardy. I would be the worst on that. I would forget how to set up the what is.
Yeah.
Who? I'm sorry. What? I forgot to say what is.
Yeah, I would do the same thing. What is and who is and how. Yeah, that's where I would screw that up. My cousin was on Jeopardy.
Oh wow.
She won 3 days in a row. This was in the early 2000s, I think she did this. My cousin Tanya.
That's pretty good.
She's really smart. That's why.
I play at home with my family, and it's just like yelling at the TV.
I do well at home.
Do you?
At home, I do really well on Jeopardy.
I do well at home with comedy too. If I get to a club and it's just like crickets.
I know. I heard your son tweet about how well you kill in the kitchen at dinner.
My son wrote the first joke he's ever written for me.
What do you write?
He wrote it for himself, but I took it. His teacher asked him. I heard him on Zoom. His teacher said, "What have you guys been? What have you been doing to stay busy during the pandemic?" And he goes, "Well, we've been binge watching our Ring doorbell footage." I said, "I'm taking that."
My daughter came up with a good joke during COVID. She's 8 years old, and she said, "Daddy, I slept on a piece of cereal in the kitchen. Does that make me a serial killer?"
That's good.
Which I thought was really good.
Yeah, yeah.
So my kid's a better joke writer than I am.
I think our kids are like, because my daughter.
My daughter's the same way.
Yeah, she was eating shredded cheese, and then she made a cross out of it. And she goes, "Look, it's cheeses."
That's good.
So that's actually pretty funny.
Here's a T-shirt that I was working on for a while.
Yeah, for a while.
Yeah, I did design. I came home from the gym, and I looked at the sweat. You know how the sweat, like on a tortilla, you see Jesus? Mm-hmm. It kind of looked like Jesus on the cross, but not quite. So I kind of like did some experimenting, sampled stuff. Like I would make it look more like Jesus on a Christ. Like I'd sweated that out.
Jesus on a Christ.
I mean, Jesus on a cross. And as if that was, what happened with my workout. And that was the image of him.
And then people go, how was your
people
workout?
would
You go,
revere me.
holy, it was good.
Oh, yeah. Jesus, it was
Hey,
great.
I want to ask you about your art because it's freaking awesome.
Thank you.
The paintings.
Thank you.
I just want to know if you would draw me one day. I would be honored if Kevin. Those are amazing. Look at those. Like the Jim Carrey one's
Jim
incredible.
Carrey's
Wow, those
really
are
cool.
good.
Tom Petty.
I look at some of these, and these are from like a year or so ago.
Man, those are really
and I've
good,
gotten
Kevin.
better.
What do you do with them?
Good question. I just got a book deal with Abrams.
Right.
Not a coffee table book, but one that you could kind of take with you, where I'll have about 50 of those in it. And then on the opposite page, I'll have a little anecdote about that person, like what my experience with them, like whether it's Tom Petty or, Jim Carrey or whomever.
How big are they when you initially paint them? Are they paintings? Sketchings? What
They're
are they?
digital paintings.
No.
Yeah.
Really? Mm-hmm. You do that on a computer? Mm-hmm. What app?
Although I did just take an oil painting class last Saturday. So I've started that as well as Spanish. I'm learning how to paint in Spanish.
You should take a Spanish digital oil painting class.
But I took lessons from a guy in England 2 summers ago on Skype. Mm-hmm. I was sitting at LAX waiting to go to a gig, and I was following a few artists on Instagram. And I saw this guy's work. I said, I like this guy. And then I saw he was giving art classes for 500 euros for like 10 weeks. So I took those, and he showed me how to get into digital art. I never knew anything about it. And
it was funny when you were on Stern, he wasn't catching half the jokes you were dropping.
yeah.
A lot of them were just flying over his head, and I was listening to it. I was laughing my ass off.
Well, he's like so far ahead. He's not like thinking at the moment, I don't think, because he's got rapid fire questions, Does it have the latest one I just drew of Andy Kaufman?
Is the Andy Kaufman up there already?
I
Well,
just
type it in,
posted
Eddie.
it today.
Kevin Nealon,
It's on
art,
my
Andy
Instagram.
Kaufman.
Instagram?
You just
at
type in Kevin
at
Nealon,
Kevin
art,
Nealon artwork.
Andy Kaufman.
That's
Wow.
awesome. Look at that.
So I've gotten better, like and I find the more time I spend on each painting, the better it is too.
This summer, I plan on being out and about as much as possible. I don't think any of us had enough fun last year at this time, myself included. So I'm looking forward to filling my schedule with as many shows and trips as I can. Whether it's for work or play, a lot of us are going to be on the move again this summer. So my advice to you is take your Raycons with you. Whether you're listening to the 2-part culturally canceled episode with Big Daddy Kane, Ari Spears, Lord Finesse, and Mad Skills, or you're listening to all the music recommendations that were provided in those episodes, a pair of Raycon wireless earbuds in your ears will make all the difference. You get crisp, powerful sound at half the price of other premium audio brands. Raycons look great and feel even better. They come in a range of cool colors and with customizable gel tips included for a comfortable in-ear fit. That's very important. I have a pair of blue Raycons, and my fiance has a black pair, so it makes us easy to figure out whose is who. She's the black one, I'm the blue one. I don't know if that means anything racial to you, but it doesn't mean anything like that to me. It just means we don't mix up our earlobes or our inner ears. And Raycons are built to go wherever you go. With quick and seamless Bluetooth pairing and a compact charging case, it's real easy to toss my Raycons in my carry-on with their charging case so I don't have to worry about them losing charge when I'm on the plane. And that's really when I rely on them. Raycon's offering 15% off all their products for my listeners. And here's what you got to do to get it. Go to buyraycon.com/Peters. That's buy, B-U-Y, raycon.com/Peters. There you'll get 15% off your entire Raycon order, and it's such a good deal, you'll want to grab a pair and a spare. That's 15% off at buyraycon.com/Peters. buyraycon.com/Peters.
And you just got bored at the airport and thought, I'm going to sign up for art lessons.
Do I have to become more famous to be drawn?
No, it's just a matter of time. I got to do this book by November. I have to have all the stuff in. So that's a painting a week plus a story. But
You can't use the ones you've already made?
yeah, I'm going to use some of those, but I don't have a story for all of them. But when I turned 60, how old are you?
51 this year.
Oh, wow, you're getting up there. When I turned 60, I said, enough with the rehearsals. I'm going to start doing the stuff I've always wanted to do in life. And it meant everything, taking Spanish, salsa dancing. Haven't done that yet.
That's a great language.
But
You should see if there's a Mexican lady who can teach you oil painting and salsa dancing at the same
they
time.
probably all can. But one of the things was going on Howard Stern, and also on Bill Maher on Real Time. Because I'm not a big political guy.
Have you been on Real Time?
Yeah, I was on Real Time like 3 or 4 times.
Yeah.
And it was great, and I boned up on all the issues, and Stern was great. I always avoided that show like the plague because I didn't want to be made fun of and put on the spot. And I went on there; he couldn't have been more respectful and nice. And
Yeah, I don't think he's doing as much gotcha anymore.
he's successful now, I think, and
Yeah.
he's just I think he's more secure with his place in life, and he's learned these interview skills, which I think he's really one of the best interviewers out there,
He is actually.
besides you.
No, I'm clearly. I got a little holes in it.
Yeah, I
but,
think you're leaning on Angelo too much. You need to break free. Get rid of him. Get rid of the dead weight.
He's solid. You know, you gotta.
How much better is this than the Lovitz interview, huh, Angelo?
Kevin, why are you talking about me?
Russell's gay. Was that a welding torch? You should wear goggles when you light that thing.
I know, that's why I hold it away from my face. I don't know who sent me that. I think Sebastian sent me that, if I'm not mistaken. I really got to confirm.
The original Sebastian or the comic?
The comic.
Oh,
Sebastian. What was the original Sebastian?
wasn't he a pirate or something?
I think he
Sailor?
was.
He was a sailor. What other vices do you have besides alcohol and cigars
Vices?
and fiancés?
That was funny.
That's the hardest he's laughed the whole day. That's the hardest he's laughed.
That was funny.
He takes a bigger inhale on that cigar now. Have you, now that you're 51, do you get checked for colonoscopies?
I just had one a couple of weeks. Colon and endo, all in one shot. Had the old spit
Same
roast.
tool?
Yeah. But when he was doing my colonoscopy, both his hands were on my shoulder, so I was a little nervous about that.
Wow. Oh, that is a little weird. I bet that's in your act.
No, actually, it's not. But I did honestly, when we went in and he said, in front of, I go, why don't you just put an apple in my mouth? When you going to do this?
I tell you, I love being put out for surgery or for a colonoscopy. I just love whatever that drug is.
Yeah, propofol.
It's propofol.
But
And
the problem when I did it is when I first did an endoscopy before they just gave me propofol, and I woke up and I felt great. This time they doubled down. They gave me something else and propofol, and I woke up feeling groggy and irritable as hell. I was grouchy.
So you felt normal.
Yeah, I felt I was.
First time I took propofol, I'm laying on the gurney. I look to my right. It's Michael Jackson.
You're like, what are you in here for? And he didn't answer.
But I remember being wheeled in once I had my shoulder replaced, and they gave me the drug, that kind of loosens you up as you're going in. And right before you're passing out, I remember the doctor saying to me, please release the railing with your left hand and release my neck with your right hand. But you just go in there, and I always worry that I'm going to say something like under the drug when I'm coming out of it or something, because my wife likes to be there because she knows I do that. That's how often I get something done.
You don't even have problems. You just like propofol a lot.
Yeah. But, you think you're being really funny, and it's like the worst. Like, I bet you play table tennis, huh? With those moves, huh? You know what I'm talking about.
You sound like me on stage.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
Hey, are you still doing your show at the Laugh Factory on
No, I haven't been there in over a year because of the pandemic.
No, but when it comes back, are you going to be doing it again?
If Jamie wants me to come back, new material night. I love doing it, but it didn't really bring in a lot of people. So I think Jamie kind of likes to sell drinks and stuff. What happened was, I think maybe even you had a show after me.
No, Ruben Paul does.
Oh, well, what happened was...
He was here. You met him.
Right.
You know Ruben, right?
Yeah, I met him. No, originally I had like an hour and a half show there. I think I like 7:30.
I've done it with you.
Yeah, of course.
Twice,
I think a lot of you guys have.
Yeah.
And when Larry David would do it, a lot of people would come. It'd be packed and stuff. But I think he wasn't making a lot of money in drinks, and it was really like 40, 50 people. Just the bottom.
Yeah, but I think it was also an early. It was like 7 o'clock.
It was early.
On Tuesday.
Yeah,
Yeah.
7 o'clock on Tuesday. It's a tough
And
one.
I didn't care. I kind of like the smaller crowds, but he likes to sell drinks and stuff. And then other people kind of like were doing well after me in that show. So he kind of wanted to start that one a little bit earlier. So mine kept getting narrower and narrower. And I call him. I say, Jamie, you know, I really don't have a lot of time. I have usually I have 4 people on, and now I got to do 5 minutes for each person. Then I'm out of here. You know, body.
Buddy, I have to make money, buddy. I have mortgage to pay, rent.
But yeah, it's funny as I've been in this business for a while, I don't take anything personally. I get it's like a business thing, you know. I get it. You got to make money. Okay.
Did you diversify your money at all?
I gave it to a lot of black people. And some brown people.
You adopted a kid once.
No, I did not diversify. I put all my money into Bitcoins.
Did you? Well, that's pretty
No,
smart.
I just put a little bit into the Bitcoins.
Well,
My son wrote that joke. Anything that doesn't work, I think is corny. I'll say my son wrote that.
My son wrote it.
Yeah.
He's 14. At least you give it a shot.
I throw him under the bus.
Bitcoin
The
dipped.
school bus.
Bitcoin tanked about 40%.
No, but it came back. It bounced.
No,
right
it's at
back.
32,000.
Is it?
Yeah,
Eddie?
it was at 57, and now it's like 32,000. How much is it? 30? It went up then.
Would you invest in anything that's called Bitcoin?
Yeah, it's sort of a coin. It's part of a coin.
It's a bit. It's just a little bit. You
Well,
can make a
don't-
little bit of money from this.
Dogecoin. I'm surprised we've all agreed to call it Dogecoin. It's a dog e-coin.
Dog coin. I never even heard of that.
Dogecoin? Really? That's the one that Elon's invested in now, isn't
Never
it?
heard of it. I don't even know who Elon is.
Elon Gold.
I had my 60th birthday party, and
I would have been there, but I wasn't invited.
You weren't invited. That's right. I remember saying no to you.
I even did the hint, like, "Hey, happy birthday, Kev!
It's funny.
Hope you have a great party."
We could only invite like a certain amount of people, but I remember like afterwards I thought, oh shit, I forgot to invite so and so. I forgot to invite that person. There's like a lot of people I forgot to invite. Yeah. So Norm Macdonald's friend Lojo comes, and she brings Elon Musk's mother and sister.
Oh, really?
Elon's sister to my party.
I've met Elon's mother before.
You have? I
Yeah.
guess she likes to get out and around, huh?
I did a TV show in Canada, and she was like the next guest after me.
Really?
Well, his mom's Canadian, right?
No, they're South African, but they moved to Canada.
No, I think the dad's South African and the mom's from Saskatchewan.
Mom's South African too.
Well, South African. I thought she was born there.
He's born there too.
Right, and he went to Queen's University.
Yeah,
in
they
Kingston.
moved to Canada, and then
Right.
yeah.
Well, I know why I didn't invite you because I had my quota of Indians there. I had Rajiv.
Who did you have?
Sathiel.
Oh, you son of a bitch!
But will you come to my 70th party and spend?
I was right there, Regina, Saskatchewan.
But she has a South African accent.
Yeah, but it doesn't matter. She
Let's
probably
see
grew
her.
up there.
Oh,
You know who else is from South Africa?
Jeremy Hotz.
Charlize Theron.
Correct. Sure, you picked the better looking of the two, but
No, I actually
Is Jeremy
think
from South
Jeremy's
Africa?
better
yeah, his
looking.
family's-
Originally?
yeah, his parents are South African.
Wow.
I'm
That's why we
taking
call each
South
other
African.
stinking.
I'm taking language of
South
South African right now.
You what?
South
I'm learning
Africa's
how to speak
awesome.
South African
South African
from a Mexican girl.
in
It's
South
kind of
America.
like now you're afraid to even say the name of a race because it's like you think you might be offending somebody, so you always kind of lower your voice. You know, I was talking to a couple of black guys the other day. And, no, I was waiting in line at a food truck, and I know the Mexican guy that owns it, and I was gonna get. You know what? I got a nice burrito, and you don't whisper the words you should. Like I was talking to a politician the other day, and there was a couple of lawyers nearby.
Well, Trader Joe's changed the packaging on some of their foods, saying it was
Appropriation.
appropriation. Like
Everything's
that's
fine.
so stupid.
But you know
Well,
who
like Aunt
complains about it?
Jemima?
Not the people who are being appropriated. They don't give a shit. Well,
Yeah.
somebody, I kind of look at it as a tribute. They got to look at it the right way.
Yeah, man. Hey, I'd love to have my
Not
name. on the
everything
package.
is an insult. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
You call me Aunt Nealon.
Yeah. I mean, if that's where you're at,
Yeah,
What's your connection to Germany again?
I own it. I own Germany.
Did you get a good deal? Pay Bitcoin for
Great
it.
deal. Bitcoin. I used to live there when I was a kid. When I was 6 until I was 10, my father worked for a helicopter company. He called it a German outfit. So I thought he worked for Lederhosen for a long time. But take a break. But so I learned how to swim in Greece. I learned how to
That's
ski
thick.
in the Alps.
That's thick.
And I learned how to argue in Italy. That's I got all my
Learn
education
how to
from
argue
Europe.
in Italy. Ah.
What if we hear like at 5 a.m. we're still talking? Cigars everywhere. Like we're getting
Kevin's got a needle hanging out of his arm. What's that?
there's like cigar smoke coming out of my clothes. I got to wash my
needed some
clothes
Xarelto.
tonight. I haven't washed my clothes since the pandemic started. Now I got to wash it.
Your wife's gonna hate us. I apologize.
How can
I
you
used to
spell
bartend at the Improv, Angelo, in 1980, 81, back in the 1900s. And it was, it got so thick with smoke in there.
I
My
remember.
eyes would be burning like after a half hour. I have to go out every half hour. I have to go outside. And I have to always, how you have to always wash your clothes back
Yep.
in the
I started
70s.
in '89, and I'd finish gigs. I think right up until around '97, you could smoke in the clubs. '98, and every weekend I'd come, man, my clothes stink. I'd have to wash them every
The only
weekend.
reason you wash them because of the smoke.
It really was the only reason I'd wash them.
How about when they had the smoking section in the airplanes? There was no divider. It was just the seat
I
behind you.
remember that.
Yeah, it's true. I remember that too.
These were the days. And we got some great memories from today.
Yeah, we really did. This was a walk down memory lane with Kevin Nealon and Angelo Tsarouchas. And memory lane, Ange, do you want to give us some facts on memory lane?
Let's recap first of all. Charles Barkley, paintings,
Yeah.
Spanish, AFib,
Hey, Fib.
and the 5 fiancés.
That's the name of my. That's the name of my. That's the name of my next special, Russell and the 5 Fiancés.
My fiancés.
I like that you're able to commit partially, though. You know what I mean? I mean, that's like. I remember I was going to get married. I was going to propose to my wife. It took me a while, but I got cold feet. But it was going to be before Halloween. That was I set this time limit, and I went out. I got a pumpkin, and I got a diamond ring, and I was going to place the diamond ring inside the pumpkin from the bottom, and then say, "Hey, Ann, you want to carve a pumpkin tonight? We'll have some champagne and stuff." And she'd find the ring as we're carving, and I proposed to her.
Right.
Every time I went over to her house, I get the pumpkin out that had all carved out. I get the ring from the top of the door frame, and I'd set it all up, put it in the trunk of my car, go to her house, and I chicken out. And Halloween came and went, and I returned the ring. No, I returned the ring after Thanksgiving because I put it in a turkey for a while because I was gonna propose during Thanksgiving.
You had a collection of pumpkins and rings.
Yeah, rings. And then Easter came along, and that rabbit was not happy with that ring going up there. I really had to force it. But ended up marrying the rabbit.
I would have expected more kids from that. Those things fuck like bunnies.
Oh, man.
How about that guy that put the ring in her drink and the woman drank the drink and then she started choking and she died?
Did she really?
Yeah, that happened.
What happened?
Like in Cincinnati, he put the ring in her drink. And,
Was it a mood ring?
No. And I guess
'Cause she
he
died in a
thought
bad
she'd look
mood.
when she went to drink and she'd see it. Guy's clearly a fucking moron. And she drank it and it went down her throat and she started choking. And he goes, "Oh, the ring's in there." And then they try to get it out. And then I think, well, she either did a trigonometry or they.
Trigonometry?
What
Sure, it was algebra. Algebra, you're thinking of algebra.
What do you call it when they put the thing here?
Tracheotomy. Tracheotomy. Tracheotomy.
Tracheotomy. Okay.
Tracheotomy. It's for the Greek. It's a Greek word.
I know, when I
Meaning ring.
It
Ring
means,
and
they
throat.
try- I
yeah, it
think
means
that-
complex math.
fucking trigonometry. I was thinking something else. And the funny thing, I think she almost died.
The funny thing is, she almost
Yeah, I mean, what did Malaka? Like, give her the fucking ring. Here's the ring. Well, you want to marry me? I
He
put it in a
didn't- he
drink
didn't-
or
well,
up
you
a
put it in a
rabbit's ass.
milkshake. That's the problem.
Was it
It's
a milkshake?
It was a thick drink.
Yeah, a woman swallows. It was the milkshake.
He didn't do the Heimlich maneuver because he thought maybe she wouldn't like the ring if she saw it.
But why would you put it in a milkshake?
Who proposes to somebody over a milkshake?
Over a milkshake, you put a ring in a milkshake.
Was it Ronald McDonald?
Who knows? Grimace.
A Wendy's Frosty, you have to eat that with a spoon. I thought he put it like in a shot, and she just, dunk.
Remember that night me and Neil Brennan did my show? I interviewed him, and then he had enough.
the
And
mic.
he goes, all right, we're done. And he puts the mic down.
What was the last straw for him in that one?
I was messing with him. I knew he
that's
wanted
what
to
you
go.
That's what you do,
Yeah,
though.
I knew he wanted to go, so I kept asking him stupid questions. He goes, "All right, we're done."
Hey, I just see.
And there's a reason I bring that up.
Anyway, that's this episode of Culturally Canceled with Russell Peters.
I got to get home because my wife has been making me dinners, and my son
Every
HelloFresh.
night.
It's called HelloFresh. It
Oh,
comes in
yeah.
a box and it's healthy. I'll eat that, and then I'll eat theirs that they don't eat, and then I'll have ice cream. So it's not healthy in the long run, but it's
Hello
really
Fresh is a
good.
sponsor of this podcast.
Are they really?
They really are.
So
That's
there you go.
I
HelloFresh.com
might use that
/Peters.
clip from you just in the future for future ads because it was a very good endorsement. It was a very, very genuine endorsement.
So you don't have to do any of the lifting now.
Yeah, thanks. I appreciate that. Not only does the food get delivered, but Kevin Nealon will finish the ad for you.
I had one possible sponsor for Hiking with Kevin.
Yeah,
Oh, I should get you on. Oh, I asked you to do that.
I did it.
I know.
Do you have
All right, we're done.
So, culturally canceled today. Hey, I want to thank my guests. The hysterical Kevin Nealon was here, and as I hoped he would be, he was in fine Kevin Nealon form.
You know, I'm always here for you,
Well, thanks, Kevin,
Angelo.
and
Only if
Angelo
it's convenient.
Soroukis. Angelo Soroukis
Thanks.
was here with all the facts.
That's Greek, Tsarouchas.
Tsarouchas?
and math information if you needed.
And don't forget the trigonometry.
That's what I said. The math. Thanks, Margo.
It was fun. I had a lot of fun today with you guys. Thanks, Russell.
And
This is
Ange
a
does
two-cigar show.
Ange does Greek math. He does malgebra.
Malakam algebra. Exactly.
I'm Russell Peters. Thanks for listening, kids.